Hi, and welcome to another episode of Rising Coaches with Sophia Bernardi. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you how to get coaching clients when you're just starting out without a big audience. So if you're new here, hi, my name is Sophia Bernardi. I am a mindset and business coach helping ambitious coaches to create simple, sustainable, and scalable coaching businesses. Today's episode is perfect for you if you're getting just started in your business and wondering how to actually sign clients when you don't yet have an audience. If you've been feeling invisible online or doubting whether it's even possible for you, I want you to know first and foremost that it absolutely is, and it's my aim that by the end of today's episode that you truly feel that and have a clear plan forwards. So I'm going to walk you through exactly what I would do if I was starting over today without a big following, without fancy tech, and without paid advertising. Also, make sure you stick around to the end because I'm going to show you how you can fast track this entire process if you want real momentum and not just more motivation. So let's dive in, but before I get into it, let me share a quick life update. I'm loving doing these more now that I am recording episodes, right before they're due to go live, essentially. So little life update, we just had the Easter break, so I flew from Brisbane where I live to Adelaide, which is where I'm from, and I spent a few days in Adelaide with my grandparents, my partner, and my friends. It was so fun, and I felt like I had so much quality time with my grandparents. I just truly was so present with them. In fact, one of the highlights, and this is going to sound so basic for everyone, but it just means everything to me, and I feel like I created my business for moments like this. I got back to Adelaide and my grandparents are my whole world. If you know me well, you know that they are my absolute everything on this planet. And I got to their place, my partner and I, we always stay there when we go to Adelaide because they live in such a good location. It's so convenient and, they have a beautiful place and everything like that. So I sat down, was talking to my grandpa, and I said, right, today at 2:00, you need to be ready, dressed up, because we are going to the Apple store. If you can just imagine talking to an 80-year-old about technology, like you already know how overwhelming that can be. But essentially, my grandparents use their iPads every day. My grandpa in particular, he loves watching YouTube on his iPad, and he has this freaking iPad 2 from like a century ago, and I don't even know how the thing turns on. And I'm just like, you guys are way too rich to not be having the latest iPad. Like, they have plenty of money. They're more than capable of having the latest technology that's going to function so much better. But I know that they don't do it because it works. There's nothing quote unquote wrong with it. And it's scary and confusing and overwhelming for older people to get new technology. So I was like, right, 2:00, I'm coming back here. We're going to the Apple store together. So he got all dressed up, and I think it would have made his entire week, if I'm being completely honest. And we went to the Apple store, and my goodness, I spent 3 hours of my life there that I'll never get back. I love Apple, and I've always had such great experiences there. But when you go with an 80-year-old that doesn't know their passwords for anything, their emails for anything, their Apple ID, they don't know anything, of course, it takes a little bit longer to integrate things from one device to another. And so we were there for 3 hours. It was a long time, but hey, the outcome was achieved. We got 2 new iPads, one for each of them, brand new covers, all beautiful, new headphones, and my grandma also got a new iPhone because, again, the iPhone is so ancient, I don't know how the thing turns on. So then we came home and I probably spent another 3 hours explaining how to use these new devices, flipping up the screen. There's no buttons on the new iPads. Like, it's the finger touch. Like, oh my God, there was a lot to it, but it was so worth it. And my grandma just sends me text messages with cool emojis every day because she's just so happy about it. I cleared their contacts. Like, I organized the whole freaking thing, guys. I'm going on a bit of a tangent here, so I will wrap that up now. But that was a highlight, being able to literally essentially waste a whole day of mine to help my grandparents, because I've created a freedom-based business that allows me to do that in a nutshell. And I think it was important for me to just share that story with you, even though I didn't plan to do that, because I'm sure that you are starting or trying to grow your coaching business for your own reasons, of whether that's to be more present with your kids and be able to pick them up from school, or whether it's to be able to take your family away on a holiday, or whether it's to be able to buy people nice things or retire your parents, or whatever it might be. We all have our own reasons, and it's so important to lean into those reasons and hold on to that vision and that mission and our goals in the tough times and in the good times, because when it does come to fruition, my goodness, is it a good feeling. Like, it was such a fun feeling for me to do that with my grandpa, that quality time. You know, we went and got a drink after, and, you know, my partner came, and it was just so beautiful. Like, it's actually making me emotional talking about it right now, because it was just so nice that I could do that. Like, when I was working 5 casual jobs before I started my coaching business, I couldn't use a whole day to set up other people's iPads and reset their Wi-Fi passwords and all of the things. Like, that would have cost me so much money to do that. Instead, I literally made money during that experience. And I think that that's pretty freaking cool. So yeah, Easter holidays, I flew to Adelaide, spent a lot of quality time with my grandparents. Then Geordie and we went to his family farm and spent Easter with his family. And I spent the week there and had so much fun. I just love being out in the country with his family. Like, his family is the absolute best. I just feel so at home there, and getting to cook and, you know, clean for everyone and go for nice walks in the hills. Like, it's just beautiful. So had the best time. And now I'm back here in Brisbane. I got back yesterday, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little bit flat and tired today. Like, there's literally nothing wrong in my life. Like, everything's beautiful, but I've just woken up feeling just a bit bleh today, if I'm honest. But, you know, that being said, I've shown up for my clients. I've shown up for my business. I did my Pilates class. I walked my 10,000 steps. You know, I've done all of the things. I've connected with my friends and family, and I'm here recording a podcast episode, and I've, you know, had a great day, but just felt a little bit flat. And that's okay. It's okay to feel that. And I think it's so important that I don't judge myself when I, you know, don't feel 100%, especially when there's just nothing but amazing things in my life. Because when my clients come to me saying that they're flat or they're struggling or, you know, X, Y, Z, you know, the first thing I do is validate their feelings. And so I need to practice what I preach and make sure that I don't make myself wrong when I feel those things as well. So just wanted to be transparent that that's sort of how I'm feeling today, for no real reason, to be honest. I think I might just be a little bit tired, like come down after a big break. I don't really know what it is, but that's okay. I don't need to. Let's get into the episode though. That's really my little life update. Feeling really good. But today I want to talk to you about how you can actually get coaching clients when you're just starting out without a big audience. So firstly, I want to speak about one of the biggest myths out there, and that is that you need a big audience to get clients. And honestly, that belief holds so many talented new coaches back, because when you believe that, you start focusing on the wrong things. You focus on growing followers instead of growing a business. So here's the truth. You actually don't need a massive audience. You need the right audience. You need the right offer, the right messaging, and the right strategy. You don't need like a huge one. You know, when I signed my first clients, I had less than 400 followers and I had no certifications. I was just turned 22 years old and I honestly had no idea what I was doing. I wasn't trying to go viral. In fact, I don't even think I knew what that was or if that was even a thing. I'm sure it was a thing, but I don't have any recollection of ever worrying about that stuff. I really truly focused on building real relationships, solving real problems, and showing up with real confidence, even when nobody was watching yet. So if you're looking at your follower count right now and feeling really discouraged, I just want you to hear this, that clients come from connection, not from numbers. So when you focus on helping people and making a difference over growing your own metrics, not only will you show up more effortlessly and confidently, but people will connect with you so much more too. You will get creative and lean into the full experience of business, and that's when it works. Not when you've worked with a certain number of clients for free or reached a certain amount of followers or created X number of offers. You need to start before you're ready, before you have those things in place. And the best way to do that is to focus less on you and more on your audience. Okay? So this is what actually gets you clients early on, because it's not the size of your audience. Sure, The size of your audience can be helpful, especially when you have, the right niche and messaging and offer and all of that sort of thing in place. Of course, more numbers starts to help you, but you don't need that in place to succeed. It doesn't need to be the first thing or the thing that even matters in order for progress to be made, because we all start at zero, let's be honest, and it works for other people, so it can work for you too, okay? So there are 3 key things that I would personally focus on if I was starting over today that's actually going to get you clients. So number 1 is to have a clear and tangible niche and a really clear offer that solves the big problem that your audience or niche has, right? So I'm going to give you some examples of some bland, boring, and blasé niches and what a clear and compelling version of that would look like for 3 different areas, because honestly, like, one of the biggest things I see when I'm auditing new coaches' stuff and seeing their profiles is just how bland and boring and blasé, and unclear their messaging is. Like, I literally have no idea who they help, right? They think it's clear and it's just not, and they're wondering why they're not getting results, okay? Your messaging is everything, and it's the number 1 thing I focus on with my clients when they first start working with me, because the faster we turn that around, then the faster your following actually grows. But if you're trying to grow a following with really bland and blasé and unclear messaging, good luck to you, honestly. So let's start with a mindset niche. This is one that I see all the time. It will say something like, I help women build confidence and feel more empowered to create a life they love. And to be fair, there's literally no judgment on this, because this used to be my I help statement when I started my business. But I do see it all the time, of this a life they love, feel empowered, but there's no outcome that's we can point to. It's not tangible enough. So an example of how we might go about this is I help corporate women replace self-doubt with confidence so they can speak up in meetings, ask for promotions, and set firm boundaries without second guessing themselves. I can really clearly see specifically who it is, the problem they have, the outcome they get, and what that allows them to create, right? And that's just an example of how you can go from bland and general to really, really specific. I think you used to be able to get away in the coaching industry with being really general, but now with the demand and so many more coaches out there, and just how advanced AI and technology and all of that stuff has gotten, it's just it just doesn't work anymore to be really general. So I think I got away with it in the beginning a little bit. Yes, I was still speaking to a specific set of problems and a specific solution, but I do feel like my messaging would have been a little bit more on the general side in the beginning, and it just no longer works anymore. Here's another example of a business niche. I help entrepreneurs grow their businesses and make more money. Okay, so more money could literally be $1. Okay, entrepreneurs could be absolutely any industry. Can you help every single entrepreneur out there? Do you have experience in all of that? Probably not, right? So instead, we want to be really, really specific. It might be something like, I help female coaches go from $0 to 5K months in just 90 days through Instagram Reels. That's a little bit more specific, right? It's an outcome we can point to. You either have 5K months in 90 days or you don't. It's super clear, right? And then a health niche. I help people lose weight, improve their health, and feel their best. I see that all the time. Feel more energy, have more vitality, feel better, lose weight. Losing weight, again, could be 0.5 gram. Is that what your ideal clients want? Probably not. It's probably a little bit more than that. So we might want to change this to something like, I help busy mums lose 20 pounds and regain confidence without spending hours in the gym or giving up their favorite foods in just 12 weeks. So can you see how I've taken 3, pretty common niches in both the health industry, the business industry, and the mindset industry, and made them ultra specific and clear? This is something I specialize in and I work very closely with my clients on, because it makes a difference between signing clients, feeling clear yourself, and therefore being able to show up confidently online and not. So that's point number 1. If I was to start from 0 today, how I would sign clients is having a clear and tangible niche, and then a really clear offer that solves that problem. So if you actually help, female coaches go from 0 to 5K months, you better have an offer that absolutely does that, So number 2 is to create content that starts conversations. So instead of focusing on followers and going viral and what audio to use and what's trending right now and what hashtags to use. Let's focus on creating content that's actually going to generate conversations, okay? So most new coaches post like they're just trying to tick a box of like, oh, I posted content today, but then you read it and it's like so boring. It adds no value. There's no connection. There's no personality. And 9 times out of 10 now it's come from ChatGPT, okay? So your goal is not just to tick a box, right? If it were that easy, think about it. Like literally think about it. If it were that easy to just copy and paste something from ChatGPT, not infuse any of you-ness into it, have nothing unique to add, really low quality images, right? And just like guess your way without like true support and a process, then don't you think everyone would be succeeding if it was truly that easy? But the reality is that most business owners fail, right? In the first 3 years, I think it's like 90% or something around there, like fail, okay? And most people are stuck in jobs that they hate, living lifestyles that they don't love, right? Because most people aren't willing to do what's truly required to grow. And I'm not saying it has to be exhausting and terribly hard and all of the things. Yes, there's hard work required and effort required, obviously, but it doesn't have to be excruciatingly painful, but it still requires more effort than most people are willing to do, okay? So it's really important to take that into consideration, that we need to put in effort and energy with content because it's content that makes us money, right? So it's worth putting the time into and investing the money, quite frankly, into learning how to get good at it. So we don't want to speak like write posts just to tick a box. We want it to speak to one person's heart and invite them into a conversation. So you have to add value and you have to create safety and you have to have a clear call to action in order for that to happen. So instead of like, here's 5 mindset tips, what about something like, if you're struggling to insert some sort of pain point, here's what helped me. Something like that where people can truly connect with you. The content that converts isn't necessarily the prettiest, the fanciest, or the thing that goes viral. It's just the clearest and the most personal. It's obviously a win-win if it does both, right? If it's clean, professional, it serves for both, right? But, if you had to choose, it's better to be clear and personal, okay? Because that's what actually gets people inboxing you. So I don't have a world amount of engagement. I don't have hundreds of thousands of followers, but I make hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? I literally make between $50,000 and $70,000 every single month in my business at this point, and it's growing. It just continues to grow, right? And it's not because I've gone viral. I've never gone viral, but I do have clear messaging that relates and lands and prompts people to reach out to me and then buy. And that's the kind of content you want to create. And the third thing that I would do if I was starting at zero is prioritize relationships over reach. So would you rather have 10,000 followers who don't care or 10 conversations with people who are ready to buy? When I was starting, I spent more time connecting, commenting, DMing, and genuinely helping people than I did trying to just grow fast. I had really healthy expectations. I know that Rome was not built in a day, and I didn't have any expectations that, things had to look a certain way before I could succeed. I was willing to sit in the mess, lean into the mess, lean in when things weren't working, reaching out for help when I needed it. I had a coach every step of the way. And I really believe it's that mentality and that behavior that got me signing clients, because I wasn't so focused on, well, I'm not here yet. I don't have this metric yet. And, just investing so much time, focusing on the things that don't actually matter, but just make me feel or look good, right? And there's a huge difference. And I see people that are in a rush or have unhealthy expectations or, want to be at 0 to 100, but they're not willing to put in the necessary work. Like, it doesn't end well for those people. Whereas if you're in business for the long run and you're here to play the long game, ironically, you make money much faster, okay? But now I can already hear you thinking but what if I'm not confident enough yet? Well, confidence doesn't come first. Action does. You build confidence through showing up imperfectly, not before. Right? Like I said, there was nothing perfect about me or my life when I first started. I had so much fear and doubt, and I was a mindset coach helping women do that. But even mindset coaches struggle with emotions and confidence at times. Like, everyone does. You're human, right? And so I was 22. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no experience. I was working all these jobs. I didn't wait for perfect circumstances. My first free challenge was the computer sitting on a bookshelf in my partner's bedroom. There was no fancy lighting. There was no fancy mic. There was, just like nothing good about the background. I was in like what looked like, a teenage bedroom. Like there was just nothing professional about it. And yet I signed clients from it because I was focused on helping people and what matters and not what doesn't. You might also be thinking, well, what if people can't afford me? What if people don't pay like the prices and there's that objection? Well, there are people right now actively looking for the exact support that you offer. Pricing isn't the real block. Clarity and positioning are. If you can help people see that the value of what you're paying is 10x, then pricing's not even going to be a thing. So it's just how you position it and making sure that you are targeting the right people and positioning yourself correctly to attract them. So if you can shift your focus from like, I need more followers to I need more real conversations, your business will change so much faster than you think. Okay. And if you want help with this whole process, like crafting a clear offer, getting clear on your niche, creating content that actually leads to clients, and building a simple system for consistent signups, then this is exactly what I help my clients with inside my program for new coaches called the 5K Fast Track. It is a 90-day program designed to take you from 0 to consistent 5K months, okay? So it's perfect for you if you're just starting out, you've got nothing set up, or if you're an early stage coach and you just haven't hit consistent 5K months. And even better, I teach this process without needing to send cold DMs, without complicated funnels, and without waiting years and years to get traction. That's what happens though when you are modeling everyone instead of going all in one approach with one coach, when you don't have a coach and when you don't lean into the experience. Then yeah, it does take years and it is hard and it is complicated and it is overwhelming, and you do end up doing strategies that don't feel aligned because you're lacking clear support from someone who's been there, who gets it, and is helping you to create an aligned business model that works for your vision, your mission, and your goals, okay? So if you are serious about fast tracking the process and signing your first and next few clients fast and doing so in a simple, sustainable way, then I would love to support you inside the 5K Fast Track. We have the doors open right now, and all you need to do to express your interest and see if the program is the right fit for you is to simply DM me the word fast on Instagram. I'm at Sophia Rose Bernardi. My Instagram link is in the show notes. DM me the word fast and I will send you the details of the 5K Fast Track. And if it aligns with you and you would like to work with me and have me support you personally at a high level for 90 days at a minimum, you can of course re-sign and continue the journey and join Scale School if you want to once you've reached those 5K months, then please reach out to me as I would love to help you. It's first in, best dressed. We've got an amazing opportunity on right now, some incredible bonuses, but it's only available for a really limited time. So make sure you DM me right now with the word fast. I'll send you those details. If the doors are open, we've got spots available and all of the things, then I will, send that to you, and then you're free to make the right decision for you. Okay. Alrighty, I hope that this episode gave you the permission slip you needed today, that you don't need a huge audience, you don't need to go viral, you just need clarity, connection, and consistency, and you are so capable of that with the right strategy and the right support. If this episode helped you, it would mean the world to me if you shared it on your stories, tagged me on Instagram, rated the podcast, subscribed to the podcast, all of the things if you haven't already, as it helps this podcast grow so much, which allows me to continue giving my time and energy and effort and love every single week to support you to be able to grow your coaching business. So I love you all. I'm so proud of you, and I'll see you in next week's episode. Bye.